I'm Kenny from Campbell Fitness, and I just finished my first Spartan race.
Exercise these demons. Yeah, I'm here for one reason. Exercise these demons. Exercise these what? Exercise these demons. Said I'm here for one reason. Exercise these demons. Put them spirits on my back. Then work till sweat start leaking. I work and y'all ain't competing. I work while y'all niggas sleeping. Yeah, my engine go vroom. Y'all niggas tires screeching. Everything drop when I push up. Everything stop when I pull up. I suggest you breathe easy. I get all mine from the gutter.
So first things first, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I am wearing my 80s Baby Survivor t-shirt, 1984, best that ever did it. If you like the t-shirts that you see me wearing, go to campbellfit.com. That's where they're available. Without further ado, I know that you didn't tune in to see me standing here talking, running my mouth. You want to see about the Spartan race. You want to see what they threw at me, how I did. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
All right, so right out the gate, you had people running their heart out. Like they were in a full-out sprint. I tried to really pace myself. I didn't want to go too hard. I didn't want to burn myself out easy. You see, we got bottlenecked once we got into the woods. And this is where the uneven terrain really made itself known. This is when you started to realize that running on the treadmill was not the same. The first obstacle I encountered was the inverted wall. It's probably about a 10-foot wall leaped back towards you so that you can't use the wall itself to pull yourself over. It wasn't a problem, you know, just get a good jump, reach up, grab it, pull yourself over. And this is when the cussing started. Once I ended up in the water and I realized, all right, you about to be running in muddy water, you about to be slipping, you about to be sliding, it's time to get dirty. And my lower back started killing me. I can't stress it enough. You really need to get used to running on an uneven terrain, having your body in awkward positions, because that's what starts to get that lower back hurting. That's what starts to make it hard to breathe, and that's what starts to attack your spirit, so to speak. That's what'll start making you want to quit. The hurdles, no problem. You know, as always, just full head of steam, get a good running start, a nice strong jump, and push yourself up and over. As you can see, I'm not running that fast. I'm trying to pace myself. They call it a sprint, but I don't know what these people are doing on the weekend, but a 3-mile run, you know, through the woods is not a sprint to me. Up the block is a sprint, not a 3-mile run. This was the Atlas Walk. They had us pick up what seemed to be probably about a 60-70 pound ball of concrete, walk it down the path, bring it back to its slot, and drop it in. Now, any obstacle that you can't complete requires you to do burpees off at the side. 30 burpees, and then you could go on to the next obstacle. I'll tell you right now, full disclosure, I didn't end up doing any burpees, even though that was my biggest fear. The rope climb, which you see me doing right now, was one of the obstacles that I was really worried about. To my surprise, I breezed through this. If you're not used to a rope climb, if you don't have really good grip strength, you can use your feet. You clamp the rope in between your feet to kind of hold you up, and that'll make it a lot easier. So no burpees on this one, and you know, it was just back to running, back to breathing through the pain of my lower back screaming at me. So with this one, what they had us do was, it's you have to pull a sled, a weighted sled towards you, and of course the best thing to do is to get as low as possible. Rely mainly on, I guess, leverage. I use my arms and primarily my back strength. You want to get as low as possible. Try to use your upper body strength, kind of like a rowing motion. So you're going to be working your arms, your upper back, and then of course once the sled is to you, now they want you to drag it back to its starting position for the next guy. Yet again, if your lower back is already hurting, this is going to be a mother. There was a lot of cursing. I had to turn the audio down because, you know, I know the YouTube algorithm doesn't doesn't take too kindly to adult language. But it was tough on the lower back. All right, so now it's on to the rings. This is one of those obstacles where once you get started, you don't want to stop. If you take time to start thinking about what's going on or what you're doing, you're gonna end up on the ground. If you end up on the ground, you're gonna end up doing burpees. When you swing out and grab the ring, you want to get it with an overhand grip, and then immediately transition to an underhand grip. Use your back arm to pull yourself up just a little bit, let go, and of course swing out to the next one and repeat. I was a little hesitant to jump on those rings, but
almost fucked that up.
you know, yet again, no problem. 10-foot wall, full head of steam, good running start, strong jump. Once you get your leg up on the wall, no problem. So this was the Hercules Hoist, and I think that bag of sand that you got to pull up there weighs probably about 80 pounds. And you can see that everybody is getting as low to the ground as they possibly can. They're relying on their legs to brace them up against the rails. And it's all upper body strength, grip strength. What I did was I decided to kind of wrap the rope around my arm, my shoulder a little bit, just so that if I did let go of the rope or it started to slip just a little bit, it would catch on my arm and it wouldn't go down too far. In an event like this, if you're not using gloves and you have weak grip strength, that rope is going to slide and it's going to burn your hands. It's going to chew your hands up. As soon as I was done with this obstacle, you know, a guy started trotting next to me, you know, jogging next to me, and he was just looking at his hands, and he just kept saying, "My hands are raw, my hands are raw." It was crazy. So this obstacle wasn't bad at all. You know, the barbed wire crawl, yes, it is real barbed wire. It's up high enough to the point where it really shouldn't snag your clothes or anything. And as you can see, I'm like flying through this. It looks like Spike Lee is filming this thing. But I did have to slow down because clearly I can't crawl over these people. And this is one of those events where if you have a chance to take a breather, you really should take a breather. You don't want to overexert yourself. You want to set a good pace. But at the same time, this is not a super taxing obstacle at all. It's more psychological than anything. The barbed wire above you, oh, I can't get up. But more so than that, it's the aspect of you've just gotten down on the floor, you're tired, you're sweaty, you're drained. There's a good chance that mentally you won't want to get up off the floor, or you're going to take longer to get up than you really should. So this was more of a psychological aspect than a physical aspect. And we are back in the creek. My sneakers were soaked, they were muddy, they looked horrible. I did hose them off and they were salvageable, but I definitely contemplated throwing them in the garbage and just being done with it. So, you know, I'm gonna start to close this video out because I don't want it to be too long. But one, you definitely need to be running on uneven terrain. Find a hiking trail or something like that and start getting your body used to being in awkward positions and uneven ground, running without sure footing, running in wet sand or something like that, just to get your body acclimated. If the treadmill is all you have, then I highly suggest a lot of exercises that'll work your lower back. Before I close out this video, this was probably about the halfway mark. The bucket had probably about 80 pounds worth of rocks in it. I decided to carry it on my shoulder as opposed to in front of me because it would be a lot more taxing on my arms, and I didn't know what events I still had left, but we had to carry these buckets for probably about a quarter mile. I'll be back with part 2, which is the second half of the race and the rest of the obstacles. Thanks for tuning in. Check out campbellfit.com, and I'll see you on the next one.
I suggest you breathe easy, I get all mine from the gutter. I suggest you breathe easy, I get all mine from the gutter. Yeah, I'm here for one reason. Exercise these demons. Exercise these what?